Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee and RPGs. My name is Solomon SK, and we got some amazing RPG news for you guys, including Lost Ark will be banning over 1 million bot accounts. Elyon Online will unfortunately drop Spanish support. Babylon's Fall sees a pretty miserable start. The New World gets the Heart of Madness update. New Genshin Impact 2.6 leaks. And the Elden Ring sees almost 1 million concurrent players. And if you haven't done so already, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below, as well as the bell notification icon right next to it, to keep up to date to everything that is RPG, including MMOs, JRPGs, online, roguelike, survival, and the like. With that being said, if you guys got your coffee ready or beverage of choice, let's go ahead and cover these articles together. Cheers to you guys. As always, I'll have a 60-second version of today's video in the form of a card over at the right-hand corner of today's video. But anyways, let's go ahead and get some non-RPG news out of the way. And I just wanted to quickly mention this one because I did grow up on Twisted Metal, as I know many of you who are watching this video also as well. And it says that Twisted Metal is getting a live-action TV show with Anthony Mackie. Now, which streaming service has the rights to this? Well, it's none other than NBC with their Peacock streaming service. And so, man, there's just so many now these days, but we'll see how this turns out. I have my skepticism, but I suppose we'll see. And I thought I'd mention this here really quick. I'm not a political channel, but I thought this is something worth mentioning anyways, considering what's going on over at Europe right now. And it says that Activision Blizzard and Epic joined the list of publishers halting sales in Russia. And it also mentions CD Projekt Red, because they also halted sales with regards to Cyberpunk 2077 as well. And I know there's been some backlash, believe it or not, if you actually look at over in their Steam page, for particularly when it comes to Cyberpunk 2077, it got review bombed because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you shouldn't be political and stuff like that. Take that for what you will, but in any regard of this story, it just seems to be such an unfortunate event at the end of the day. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be happy with this one. I certainly am, because immediately when you log into Lost Ark, you're going to see a lot of real money transfer bots out there. And it says here that Lost Ark is banning over 1 million accounts for using bots. It's not a ban wave, it's a ban tsunami. And I really hope they could really keep up with this, because no matter where you go, you're going to get flooded with all these bots telling you to buy gold from whatever Chinese farming company, you know, stuff like that. I tend to be able to kind of ignore that chat for a while, but after a while, it's just like, okay, I'll spare a minute to report these accounts that keep spamming. It does get annoying. And continuing with Lost Ark, it says here from massivelyop.com that Lost Ark's Tier 1 and Tier 2 content nerf is now live, as Amazon sees Tier 3 as the real endgame. Now, the reason being, well, it says here that Amazon and Smilegate has proposed essentially nerfing the difficulty of Tier 1 and Tier 2 Guardian raids and Abyss dungeons, noting, that fewer than 10% of the game's players have actually completed them. Now, what was originally intended was for players to do Tier 2 and Tier 1 content, get the loot from there, and be able to finish the Tier 3 content. But the problem is, unlike South Korea, in the Western release of the game, we actually got Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 all at the same time. Whereas in places like South Korea, they only had Tier 1 and Tier 2 for a while, and then Tier 3 came out at a later date. So in hindsight, they probably should have left out Tier 3 for the time being, just so that people are able to level up. But overall, it seems like a really good thing at the end of the day, because if you read the comment section for this article and other articles like this, including Discord and Reddit, a lot of people seem to be okay with this and have a less difficulty time leveling up their character and such. And so next we got an article from MMORPG.com, and this is pretty sad news. I think the writing is on the wall, unfortunately, but it says here that Elyon update class balance for greater viability, discontinues Spanish support in April. And that's kind of unfortunate. The article does go on to say that there just isn't enough interest in the game with regards to the Spanish version of the game for them to keep on going. But I think it's gonna be pretty soon before the entire game actually goes offline. I still really want to play this game, but I just have too many irons in the fire right now. It's still your run-of-the-mill MMORPG. There's really nothing that really stands out, unfortunately, but it's still something that I would like to play eventually. But man, I just don't think it's going to be around by the time I'm able to get to it. But in my prediction, my best guess, in my opinion, yeah, this game, it's not going to last until 2023. Now, I do apologize that some of these articles, the title will be cut off on the right there, but in this one from altchar.com, it says that Babylon's Fall has had a miserable launch on Steam, peaking at 650 concurrent players, which is really bad. Now, maybe if this game was a independent title made by somebody with a development team with a size of 2 or 3 people, I mean, that would be moderate success, right? But this is Platinum Games we're talking about. The same studio behind Bayonetta and Nier Automata, as well as the fact that this game is being published by Square Enix. And as the title said before, that the game peaked at 650 concurrent players on Steam during its launch day, with a user also mixed about it, with only a 52% of them being positive, unfortunately. Now, the article does go on to give the reasons as to why it had such a poor start, and I'll give my take on it too. But it does go on to say that first, it's a game that no one really asked for. Platinum is known for their amazing single-player games, and a live service title is certainly the last thing their fans wanted. I mean, fair enough, but at the end of the day, I still feel like if it's a really good game, people will still play it regardless, whether it's a live service title or a single-player game, or even an MMO for that matter. But anyways, that's probably beside the point. Secondly, Babylon's Fall launched just shortly after 2 mammoth releases, Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring, with the later taking the world by storm, and this is absolutely true. And I'll get into some of the numbers that Elden Ring was able to crank out, but there's a third reason, and this is something that I expressed before in previous videos, but I'll say it again for the last time here. It's their monetization practices in this game. Because not only did you have a premium cost to the game, and I believe it was $60, there's also a battle pass system in the game, which I would assume is going to be another $30 to $40. And then on top of that, there's a cash shop item, microtransactions. And so I generally give companies the benefit of the doubt when it comes to these sort of, or labeling a company greedy. But in this case, yeah, it was pretty greedy. Let's call a spade here. If the game was free to play and it had a battle pass system with microtransactions, I would be okay with that. I mean, it's not great, but it's still understandable. If the game had a premium cost but no battle pass system, and maybe even a slight cash shop, and we're talking like super light, just something that's very passable in terms of maybe cosmetics, I don't know, I would be like, okay, that's not great still, but understandable. I'd give it a pass. But the fact that it has all 3, the only thing that's missing possibly is a monthly subscription, but you might even argue that that's what the battle pass system is. I don't know. In either event, that was probably my biggest gripe about this game, was the fact that you had to shell out so much money just for content, for stuff that should already been given to you by you earning it through the game. But there's a paywall with a battle pass system, so I mean, it was just ridiculous, you know. But I will still stand by what I said earlier in terms of the positive things about the game. That the game absolutely does look beautiful. Like the mechanics in terms of its combat looks absolutely insane, and it's a game that I would totally get into, minus the fact that I have to shell out so much money to experience it. So anyways, that's my take on it. Let me know down in the comment section below why you didn't play Babylon's Fall, if it does go free to play, and I'm assuming it won't, because that will probably anger the fans that already purchased the game. Let me know down in the comment section below why you didn't play it, and yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. And I thought this was really cool. It says here from massivelyop.com that Star Trek Picard uses 4 Star Trek Online ships in its 2nd season premiere. Now, out of all the gaming communities out there, I, in my opinion, would say that Star Trek Online probably has the most hardcore fans, because the whales of that game is what's keeping the game alive, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on the way you look at it. And what's really cool about this is that now that this happened, it makes the ships from the game actual canon now. And yeah, that's really cool, because it's usually the other way around. It's usually the canon or assets from a movie that make it on over to the video game, not video game the movie. And so yeah, a lot of cool things for Star Trek fans out there, especially if you play Star Trek Online. But these 4 ships include and I'm gonna butcher these names, so I do apologize. The Gagarin, the Reliant, the Ross, and the Sutherland class ships. Heading on back over to altchar.com, we have here that the New World Heart of Madness update is coming out with new expeditions, new weapons, balance updates, and more. And hopefully no more bugs. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Now, this new update is specifically for players who have reached level 60 and above. Now, in terms of new content, there is something called the Tempest's Heart, the Myacrad Guard Expedition. I'm butchering that, I do apologize. But this is specifically geared towards those of you who were into the storyline of the new world, which honestly probably isn't a whole lot of you, but the upcoming update is set to wrap up Isabella's story, and that's the woman with the red eyes that you saw in many of the trailers before the new world came out. And this is open to, or is available as a 5-player expedition with a gear score of 550 or above. Now, there is a new weapon called the Blunderbuss, and this is like one of those short, stubby little hand cannons that acts pretty much like a shotgun, but this is essentially a ranged weapon that offers high mobility coupled with potent close to mid-range damage. It also scales with strength and intelligence, and as far as I can tell, there isn't a weapon that actually utilizes those two attributes. But also, adventurers will able to progress through 2 weapon mastery trees, allowing the player to choose between 2 distinct styles, which is always nice because rather than having to constantly refresh your points and spend gold on just getting your points back just to redistribute them, I think this is really cool, especially if you want to switch between PvE and PvP. And lastly, obviously, and this is something that I covered before, and they are planning to fix the numerous bugs that are plaguing the game right now. Matter of fact, I think I read another recent article that said they are disabling the tradable gold, or just trading in general, especially gold, because there's another item duping problem or bug or exploit that's been going on right now. But yeah, overall, I hope this is the update that's able to just really stabilize the game and put it in the right direction. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, I still have high hopes for this game. I still hope it does tremendously well, but time will only tell. And to all the JRPG fans out there, really quick, especially if you're a Neptunia fan, we got Senran Kagura Ninja Warriors available for the PC on May 11th, and this is going to be through the Steam platform. But if you have a Switch, the Switch version of the game will launch on April 19th in North America as well as Europe, but Europe will get it on April 22nd. Now, this might be a charming little MMO that I might have to give a try, but we'll see. It says here that side-scrolling 2D MMO Element Quest has relaunched as Sunset World Online. Now, this is an MMO inspired by MapleStory, and here's the kicker. This game was actually released back in November of 2021, then shut down in February of 2022 due to the lack of interest. But now the game relaunched, as I said before, as Sunset World Online. And yeah, it's in early access right now on Steam, but you also play it through Google Play on the mobile platform. It doesn't say anything about the iPhone. Not sure why. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe they just left it out in this article. Next, we got some more Genshin Impact leaks. Genshin Impact probably has the most leaks of any game I've ever covered, even more so than the next Grand Theft Auto game that everybody's hyped for. But these leaks don't seem to hurt the game. Rather, people just gobble them up, especially its fans. And anyways, here's another one. Genshin Impact 2.6, Kamisato Ayato, I believe that's how you say it. Level up materials revealed. And yeah, this is just for another future character, probably a 5-star. But it does list some of the level up materials that this potential leak or rumor or whatever you want to call it involves. I'm obviously not gonna list every single level and material. You could pause the video for yourself if you're interested. But yeah, according to most leaks, he should arrive in update 2.6, which according to MiHoYo's usual update schedule should drop around April 10th. Next, we got Star Wars The Old Republic in the news, and I'm totally gonna butcher his name, so I do apologize, but the project director Keith Kanneg, I believe that's how you say it. Well, he talks what BioWare is doing post 7.0 with major fixes coming this month. Now, he did admit, despite the fact that the game was delayed for better experiences, for more bug fixing and whatnot, it wasn't a huge, or it wasn't a great transition. They still have a lot of things to fix, but the next big patch is targeted at around March 22nd and is set to have at least 200 fixes in one large push. Admittedly, 7.0 pushes the game in a new direction, especially when it comes to getting gear. It's less RNG, but it's also just a new mechanic overall in general, and not exactly sure what to make of it as of yet. I'm still playing the game and I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I like it or not, but either way, I think it's still a really tremendous an amazing MMO to get into, but only if you're into single player, huge storyline driven games like Final Fantasy XIV. But if you're looking for anything other than that, this is definitely not your type of MMO. Next, we got some Elden Ring in the news, and this is the patch that finally fixes the stuttering frame rates for your PC or the game-saving bug for the PlayStation that's been plaguing those two systems since launch. And this is patch 1.02.2, and this was actually also released back in the 2nd of March, and so it's actually have been a few days as of recording of this video. But yeah, the major bugs have been fixed. Thankfully, there are a little bugs still here and there, but it's just not massively game breaking, fortunately, this time around. And so yeah, again, if you want to read more about some of the little things that they did add and fixed, again, these will be down in the pinned comment section below. And yeah, moving on. Next, we got Destiny 2 in the news, and really quick, the Vow of the Disciple raid goes live tomorrow, rather today as of recording of this video, but that means the special world's first race is taking place. Matter of fact, somebody might have, or some group of people might have already even been first already, and I just don't know about it yet. And we got some amazing previews for Elder Scrolls Online, as the Coral Aerie dungeon is coming in the Ascent Tide DLC. And honestly, it's your stereotypical run-of-the-mill dungeon for Elder Scrolls Online. It is a 4-player dungeon with new bosses, new rewards, even new titles and collectibles as well if you want to have your chance at it. And just really quick, talking about Elden Ring again, it says here from PCGamer.com that Elden Ring nears 1 million concurrent players on Steam, placing it 6th of all time. And obviously, because this game was also released to other platforms as well, the numbers for the game is going to be much higher than just near 1 million, obviously. But yeah, it's a game that's still wildly popular despite the fact that it's very similar to Dark Souls. And so if you're a Dark Souls fan, you're obviously, I mean, it's not a bad thing that it's very similar to Dark Souls, but if you don't like Dark Souls, then you're gonna probably hate this game. Either way, congrats to From Software. I hate how the company name starts with From, for obvious reasons maybe, but I'm still hoping and waiting that they will release a new Armored Core game. That's why I like From Software, not Elden Ring, not Dark Souls or Bloodborne, because of Armored Core. When will that come out? Anyways, and that does it for today's episode. I really do appreciate if you made it with me so far, because the watch time significantly helps out with the algorithms, probably more so than any other part of the algorithm, honestly. But anyways, everyone, just let me know down in the comment section below what you're looking forward to when it comes to the new updates from the New World and Lost Ark. I'm having a lot of fun with Lost Ark. I've ended up making 3 level 40s because I'm being indecisive in terms of what all I want to play. Definitely the Gun Lancer is my main, and yeah, a lot of amazing things going on right now, especially for us RPG fans. But anyways, everyone, I will finally let you guys go. Hope you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.